we're going to get right into the spoiler discussion for The Hunt. And I guess I'll go straight into one of the things Theo alluded to in the review portion. Yep, if you are here for Emma Roberts or Ike Barinholtz or any other of these B-list actors, they all die.
Yes, they are all in there for a very short period of time. It's really funny though. So like, I'm torn on whether it. I go back and forth because I really like watching all of those people die, like throughout. I don't.
I actually sort of agree. I
Yeah,
think
it
I
it
think
just
that is
worked
a
for
good
me.
beginning
Yeah,
that you were talking about.
it's a cool setup, and I was like, oh, this is a great use of like. I think it's kind of funny that I got tricked and these actors aren't going to be in here for any period of time. Now I'm ready for a great movie, and then it just flopped after that.
Mhm.
But like for me, the use of the actors at the beginning, it's kind of funny. I hope they didn't spend too much on them, but it's it was kind of funny.
Yeah, the one in particular that I thought was really funny. I also thought, I don't know if you guys felt this. One of the things that did end up working for me is I thought Ike Barinholtz was going to be like either the main character or the co-star character. In the fact that like I feel like he dies maybe I want to say like 20 minutes through.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
And that's I agree with Todd. Like that stuff was a little interesting to me. The whole setup of the gas station, I think, is a cool like little gag. And again, it just baffles me that that this movie isn't like as interested in selling itself as a comedy when that's sort of what it's going for.
Yes.
So I don't know if there were disagreements between maybe the writing staff and the directing team or whatever. But I was gonna say that the biggest one that got me is there's this girl. I'm pretty sure she's like 15 or 16, or maybe she's older and just looks young. But she's running away, and Ike Barinholtz sees her, and she falls in this pit. And you're like, oh well, he's gonna have to get her out of this pit. And there's just like a knife like in her chest. I was like, oh my god, what?
That did, yeah. That got to me. I thought that stuff was kind of effective at the beginning for just like a cheesy horror. Not like great, but I mean like a kind of fun action horror. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What you want from like a Blumhouse production, I guess. Like if they're leaning more towards the goofy side of things.
I could have I could have watched an hour and a half movie where we just slowly watched all 12 of them die that way. It just kept going off to different people until we got to the end person.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, agreed.
It's just that Hunger Games and Battle Royale, the style of storytelling is interesting.
Sure.
And okay, I guess the thing that the only other spoiler that I was going to mention that I sort of actually kind of like, this is where it like won me over a little bit, and I couldn't mention this in the review because it is inherently a spoiler. I thought getting Hilary Swank just randomly showing up, she's done this in like 3 movies. She does it in Hustlers, she does it in Logan Lucky, and she does it here again. I actually, the rest of the like elites they were getting, there's one guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and the rest of them I don't think really worked that well for selling that comedy
Yes.
of their characters. And those jokes all fall flat because it's like it's almost like they're going too far because they're like, oh well, isn't this funny because like they're snowflakes, so they'd care about meeting a diversity quota and like other stuff and righteousness. And it's like, yeah, but you're overselling that to where it's not anything.
No, it means nothing. It's a lot of jokes that are inserted in that have no, like, you can tell they're inserted in for the sake of being inserted in, and they don't actually fit in. Like, there's literally a moment where it's like, oh, you're wearing kimono, isn't that cultural appropriation? And it has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just there. And it's
So
like,
if you like those jokes, you're gonna love
oh
this.
my god. Like, at least some of the other ones before, like, had a bare thread of a segue.
Yes.
This is just straight up like, yeah, someone's wearing kimono and they just can't control themselves and they make this, like, joke. And it's like, why did this need to be?
This is gonna it's gonna sound weird, but it's like the jokes felt like they were jokes told on a TV show that's part of a different TV show, so they're not as good. Or
Yes,
Yep.
I completely agree.
Yep, agreed with you fully. That's hilarious. That's a hilarious.
That's how they felt to me. So yeah, and
Yeah, it's bizarre.
on the Hillary.
That is the perfect comparison, Todd.
Thank you. On the Hillary Swank thing, I get what you're saying in that, like, I thought she was effective in the role, but they kept teasing that it was going to be this famous person, and then they pan around, and I have to admit, I kind of went like, oh, Hillary Swank.
Yep. Right.
I just wish I had been more excited. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really cool if it was someone like Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Just on the other, that would be a shock value one. Obviously, like that. I agree with what you're saying. Yeah,
and for the record, it's not the shit on her. She's a great actress, but it's like it's just funny because it's like, or even somebody fun like, I don't know, like Pamela Anderson. I don't care, like right, but like
exactly.
Instead, it was like, oh, it's just a respected, celebrated actress. Got it.
Yeah, give me that Guy Fieri or something.
Yes, Guy Fieri. I want Guy Fieri.
I think what worked like for me is just the fact that Hillary Swank has done this in 3. Wait, hold up. Is she not the one that shows up in Hustlers?
Wait, what do you mean?
Is Hillary Swank not the interviewer in Hustlers?
Oh
no. That's Juliet.
Oh my God, I messed
whatever
up.
her name is. Yeah.
Julia Roberts.
No, it's
I wish.
It's gonna bother me, so now I'm gonna in the spoiler podcast for The Hunt.
Spoilers for Hustlers.
for this fantastic movie, Todd's favorite film, going out on a bang, of course. Julia Stiles. Wow, she looks a lot like Hillary Swank. My bad, my fault. I'll take the L on that one. But no, I think I got excited because like I was like, oh my God, Hillary Swank is doing this again. Because I don't know if you've seen Logan Lucky, but literally like the same thing happens where they're like, oh look, Hillary Swank's here, and it's like, yeah, like it would be like just because this one's in front of me. I think it would be like if 10 years from now The Hunt came out and it was Gerard Butler, and it's like, what? Like no one. But I just, for me, like what worked with that stuff is we finally had a character that sort of wasn't jokey, like on that side, and was just like absolutely despicable. And it's like, oh, well, here's our villain. And I do like the whole, I mean, it gets me, it's like a trope, but the whole thing of like going back, a year before this and finding out events, I always kind of fall for that trope. So I was sort of invested because, they're like, oh, well, who are the ones that did this? And I I did find it a little funny. The one joke that got me was when Hillary Swank saying, me and my friends were just going to hang out and you had to spread all these lies that we were going to kill people. And then the main character's like, well, like, you're literally killing people right now. Yeah. And she's like, that's besides the point. I found their banter to be all right. I wasn't ever like rolling my eyes as much as I was with a couple other people. So I think that third act is what sold me a little bit. I think Betty Gilpin, Theo, you might be able to attest to this. Is she good in the Grudge?
Oh man, she was probably one of the least bad parts of The Grudge. It's hard to really say if anyone was good in The Grudge, and it's not their fault. It's just more the movie itself. I will say there's one good joke in this entire movie that I actually laughed at. I was like, that was clever. Good job. And that's when they're fighting at the end and they're scrambling around, and right before she gets slammed into like a door, she says, wait, no more glass, because they've been thrown through a lot of glass already. And I was like, okay, that's actually funny. Good job. You got one laugh out of me. All right.
Yeah, just going off jokes that do work. Another one that I was going to mention, I thought the setup payoff of the whole thing, I think it's the My Name is Earl guy, in the main character, Betty Gilpin are together. He's named Ethan Suplee. They're both stuck in a train car, and they they have these group, and he keeps saying, he's like, oh well, he's hired to do this. He's hired to do this. And the whole time, like, you're like, this guy's insane, right? Like, there's no way. And then the guy just like deadpans to them, and he's like, they don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, wait, what? You guys saw that, right? And they're like, dude, you're crazy. That kind of worked for me. I think that actor in particular, again, of that group of the elites, I think had like more comedic timing than the rest of them. I mean, one of these guys is from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And he should probably know better, like comedic timing. So I don't know if it was just maybe the movie bringing that down or what. But yeah, I don't know if. Oh, go for it, Todd.
You can only do so much with certain material, and like I think at the end, I mean, the script is just not that great for some of these jokes, unfortunately. So it's like the comic timing. A lot of the parts that work in it aren't necessarily crafted jokes. They're the parts where actors can do a little something special with a line that's not that great. So I agree that what you're saying was pretty funny, but I think most of it is just you can only do so much with that. And the guy from It's Always Sunny, Glenn Howerton, that's his name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I had no clue his name. Yeah, I was trying to look at these characters, but some of the guys at the bottom kind of look similar. So I was like, nah, not clicking on all three. Theo, do you have any other spoilers you want to throw out?
I just think, like, ultimately, what do you guys think the point of this movie was? Because that was just what was running through my head the entire, like, second half. I was just thinking, like, I don't know what is the purpose of this. Like, it's so clearly trying to be political satire, but I don't know what it's trying to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
have a theory, and my theory is that this was just a really shitty horror script that they punched up with political jokes to try to sell it in a polarized market, and that it worked. That's my theory.
I think that's a good theory. which is upsetting, because I feel like if they leaned more, again, like what Todd was bringing up, if they lean more on the initial opening of it, I feel like there is a film that could work here. Mm-hmm. It's just there's such a lull in the middle act.
Oh, yeah. Also, one quick question. At the end, did I miss something? Did she have the right person or not?
I was confused with that too.
I would assume, I don't know, because like that to me was like, oh, haha, like liberals will target anyone, and it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. And so, like, with how much the movie flounders, my guess is that, like, she got the wrong one, or I don't even know. You know, I'm just like,
well, they try to
said it's wrong, so it's probably wrong. There's no depth. Well, why would there be depth now? What were you about to say about whether you think they got the right person or not?
Well, Betty Gilpin, I don't know if she was supposed to do this or not, but she acts when she says, like, no, you got the wrong person. The second time she says it, it almost seems like she's like kidding around a little bit, like she's playing with her, and it made me think, like, so is it supposed to be the, like, I just didn't get it. It seemed confusing to me, but
no, agreed.
I mean, I think either way it doesn't really matter, but the story's probably a tiny bit better if they got the wrong person, right? I guess it serves their ends a little bit better, but that's about it.
Yes, so that's agreed with you fully. It's a type of movie where there's two reads I have to this movie. One is the very optimistic take that this is actually an extremely, like, this is a very incisive, Get Out-esque leftist take on neoliberalism. more than anything else, and it's actually pretty solid in that respect. But I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just someone who doesn't know what they're doing and trying to attack everyone and not say anything. And that's kind of how I feel about this movie, you know?
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Just to build off that even more, it's just so, like, I think it's even, like, nodding at the camera, like, hey, isn't this crazy that we're, like, dissing both sides? And it's like, I mean, I guess, yeah. Like,
Sure.
Right?
And it almost, like, a lot of those jokes, the worst thing that, like, you can say about some of the, especially, like, the jokes parts of it, is that sometimes they feel like they're needing your approval. And that's not what you want to feel.
Right.
So I think that'll wrap it up. Todd, did you have any other things?
No, I'm good. So
Yeah.
I'm good. Mhm.
That'll do it for the spoiler talk for The Hunt. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We have spoiler talks and plenty of other things. So make sure to check those out. Parasite is one of the more popular ones of the spoiler talks. But thank you guys. Thank you, Theo and Todd, for joining me and talking about The Hunt.
That's a pig noise. I'm trying to make a pig noise. I don't care. This movie is fine.
There we go.